Hello and welcome back to Paul's Beer Reviews. Hope you're doing well. We're going to crack on with a beer, and it's a Dutch beer, and it's from Bavaria, and it's a bottle of their premium beer coming in at 4.3% ABV. Described here, it says brewed with pure mineral water from our own spring. Apparently, they make a point of putting that on the front of the bottle. There is the bottle cap, quite a nice one. So yeah, Bavaria. Ingredients: natural mineral water, barley malt, glucose syrup, hop extract. Brewed and bottled by Bavaria Brewery in Liesholt and Holland. Distributed in the UK by Molson Coors. Yeah, 4.3% ABV, 500ml bottle. Picked this one up for £1 in Tesco. Never had this one before. In a green bottle, which is never very encouraging. But it is a very fresh one. This one is good to July of next year. So I'm hoping that it's not been on the shelf for long and it won't be a massively skunky affair. No skunky aroma on that whatsoever. That's a good start. I'll give it quite an aggressive pour. We'll get some life into it. And it has responded very well. Okay, so taking into consideration that was an aggressive pour, so it's got a solid 3-finger. Fluffy looking white head on that. Pretty clear. Decent levels of carbonation on that one. Quite a lively looking golden lager. Clear as you like. Yep. Pure gold. Sparkly gold. Very nice. Big head on it. Let's give it a bit of a wriggle. So I'll get his head to die down a little bit. Maybe I'll give it too much of an aggressive pour. See if I can get an aroma. Not really. Very slight sort of barley malt, rice kind of aroma on it. Not getting any citrus or anything through that. Nah, very minimal aroma. See if we can get it through the head. There's barely anything on that. Barely anything on the aroma, unfortunately. Let's get a taste. Cheers. Very clean, crisp, refreshing. There's not much flavour to it though. There is the slightest sort of citrus sweetness to it. I tell you what, you can kind of notice the natural mineral water in it. They've made a point of saying on the front and the back of the bottle that it's made using natural mineral water from their own spring, wasn't it? Their own spring. And I tell you what, that has got to be one of the cleanest tasting lagers I've ever had. It is really clean, really refreshing, but it just has very minimal flavour to it though, you know? Slight bit of citrus sweetness, a little bit of malt there. No bitterness really to speak of. It's a very short flavour, but it's very drinkable. What's the alcohol percent? 4.3. So it's light, it's sessionable. Honestly, that is one of the most drinkable lagers I've ever tried. But at the same time, it doesn't really taste of anything. So I can't give it huge marks, but that natural mineral water element to it makes it really smashable. Really easy drinking, goes down easy. It's very smooth, very light mouthfeel with a slight citrus sweetness to it. I could drink that all day. That's a proper barbecue beer. A proper barbecue beer. And one of the better ones, I think. Yeah, it's a tough one, this one, because it's so drinkable without really tasting of anything. So it doesn't really do much for the whole lager genre. A lot of people call it bland and carbonated, and this one is definitely that. There's no real flavour to it at all. But like I say, it's really clean, really drinkable, and it just does enough to kind of remind you that it's a beer, you know. If you're going to buy this beer, make sure you get it fresh, because I can imagine one of these that's been on the shelf for a long time would taste bloody horrible. I kind of get the feeling this stuff has a short shelf life. It's kind of there's a point where it's good and then it's not good, and I imagine that point would be rather short, you know. Get this when it's fresh and you've got a very drinkable lager on your hands. Get it when it's not, and I don't think there's going to be enough flavour in this for you to want to go back to it. But as it is, I'm quite enjoying the drinkability of it. The lack of flavour means that I'm not exactly going to go rushing to the shop and buy anymore, but I would certainly drink it again. And for £1 a bottle, I probably wouldn't say no either. But is it going to stop me from buying Rheinbacher for £1 a bottle? Absolutely not. That's kind of, unfortunately, the thing I have to keep reminding myself of. I mean, you can get this for £1 a bottle in Tesco. I think I've seen it in Morrison's as well. And don't get me wrong, it's okay. It's not terrible. But if you want a good, refreshing lager with a bit of flavour, go to Aldi and get Rheinbacher for 99p. But there's not a lot wrong with this. It's really drinkable. One more. Really light, really clean. Subtle sweetness from a bit of citrus there. It says there's glucose syrup in it, but it's not particularly sweet. It's not overly sweet. There's just a little bit of sweetness there, and it tastes like there's a slight citrus tint to it as well, which it stops it from tasting artificial. Yeah, it's just a shame there's not a little bit more in it. Otherwise, this would be an absolute cracker. But as it is, I would put this just above average. I am going to give this one a 6 out of 10. Yeah, I think that's fair. Massively drinkable. There's just no complexity to it. If they had a little bit more in it, this would be one of the better lagers on the market, especially for the money. So yeah, 6 out of 10 for Bavaria, the Dutch premium beer, £1 a bottle in Tesco. And like I say, I'm pretty sure I've seen it in Morrison's as well. So yeah, if you go out and grab one of those, hope you enjoy it. Hope you're all doing well, guys. Till my next video, you take care.